I'm going to be using my Kiehl's Rare Earth Deep Pore Cleansing Mask. My face is super dry, but I literally just washed it. So this is a freshly washed face. And I'm just going to go in with my little spatula here. I'm going to have a little gross talk because last night was just super eye-opening. And I must say, it's very interesting when people show their ass. It's like a huge part of me was not going to continue speaking on this situation because at this point, the video came down. This is the second time that a video has came down due to me putting up content that I felt like it was necessary for me to be able to reflect on. When certain things happens to me, a lot of people be doing me in a way where they feel like they can get away with it. And in all reality, I should have called the cops because I felt very violated in a way. Especially like when things transpire and you kind of don't have anyone to back you up. So you kind of have to just wait and see how things play out, you know? And that's pretty much what I was doing. So I'm going to give you guys a little backstory on what exactly I'm talking about and why I went to call the cops. And calling the cops doesn't necessarily mean calling the cops physically. Calling the cops means like I need someone of the authorities to come and resolve this issue, because if I resolve it, it's not going to go well. And it didn't. Pretty much, the last video I posted was a video with me talking about a lot of stuff. To be honest, it was probably one of the first videos. The last two videos have been very transformational for me, and it has allowed me to really reflect on the real shit that has been going on in my life that I usually don't talk about, because I usually try to protect people, and a lot of people like to, you know, use their title as a way for you to not express yourself. Like, oh, like, I'm your this, I'm your that. But in all reality, you're not really my anything because you have no respect for me. I put up a video where I was expressing my vulnerable self, as usual. If you guys have me on YouTube for a while, most of my videos are me being completely transparent about different situations that happens in my life that are either good or unfortunate. So the last video that went up, it pretty much was a video of me speaking to someone that happened to be friends with someone that I was friends with at the time, that has taken advantage of my time and did not have any didn't have any understanding of how detrimental that could be as a business owner and as your friend. Like, it's a very fine line when you're trying to, you know, build one. I'm trying to build a business, right? I'm trying to build something more solid, and I don't know how many times I have to say this, but and I don't feel like I should have to say this. I think certain people feel like, you know, because you knew me for X amount of time, and it hasn't been that long, but because you think you knew me for X amount of time, you feel like you could come and take advantage of what I've built from nothing. Nobody knows what I went through in order to build my business. And I felt like I really had to hold my tongue and be coy and be nice about the situation. In all reality, I'm hurt. And I'm going to express how I felt. I'm not fucking holding my tongue, because at the end of the day, YouTube is my platform to express myself. Some people go to therapy. I'm not going to go to therapy about a friendship. It's not necessary. Half of the time, bitches don't care about you that much. I specifically made the video because the friend at the time ended up coming to my house to get her hair done. And I was very sad. I was going through a lot of things, and I wanted to have a friend. That was all that was being asked. I was asking for her friendship. I was asking for her to just be humane in the time, because I just needed that sense of comfort. So instead of me, you know, instead of me making a status about it, I contacted my friend because I felt like, you know, I did your hair. She brought me some hair, so she brought me a couple packs of braiding hair, but that still doesn't suffice for the service that was being done. It doesn't suffice for the fact that, like, I specifically was expressing that I was not in the best mental space to work, and I had asked her if she can just stay over until the next day. Sis did not want to stay. Sis went home. Oh, she wanted to go home. That's fine. We're all adults, but I feel like people choose to be adults when it's not, it's just not the right time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was pretty much pleading for her to be my friend at the time, and she was just kind of like, you know, like just very like generic, just very impersonal, just not really trying to be personable in a very tender situation for me. And I feel like I've always shown up for my friends where I'm able to be present and I'm able to understand, like, okay, she needs me right now. Like, I need to put myself aside so that I can be there for her. But it seems as if for females, they only know how to show up for men. And that was pretty much what was said in the video from the person. And I'm not going to say who the person is because they're very adamant about their voice being in the video and it's very illegal. So I am not going to say anybody's names. I'm just going to express myself and my truth and what has transpired, because I was attacked last night. I did the girl's hair. She went home. She decided to take selfies. She did not ask me if I was okay. I did not respond to her when she sent me the selfies. I sent her a nice lengthy message. I want to say the day after the situation happened. I pretty much told her, like, I felt like you wasn't there for me as a friend. You know, like, you pretty much came to get your hair done. You had an attitude for the majority of the time that you were here, which she did. It seemed as if she was very standoffish. She was trying not to get too close because obviously I wasn't okay. So she felt like, oh, she's not okay, I need to back up too, even though I'm literally in her scalp. So instead of her saying, yo, you know, honestly, I'm gonna put myself aside right now and I'm gonna make sure you feel good. Like, what do you want to do today? Like, what can we do to bring your energy back up? Because this is the type of person that I am as a friend, and this is where I went wrong, expecting people to come show up for me the way I show up for them. Because there's ever so many things that you can buy. There's ever so many things that you can just, you know, say, oh, like here. But as far as like a personable interaction, a personable relationship with someone where it doesn't require money, because at first I was not mad about her not paying for the service. I feel like I was okay with her not paying for the service if she showed up as a friend. But because she didn't show up as a friend and she also did not pay for the service, and I completed a service that was actually more than what I expected to do that day, because like I said, I did not have the strength in me as a human being. I did not have the strength to work for X amount of hours. I really wanted to go in my bed and cry. I expressed to my friend that that's how I felt that day, and her response was, oh, so you want me to go home? I could come back tomorrow. Me and the other friend outside of this girl, so this is pretty much, I don't even want to call her my friend, because honestly, I don't really understand the dynamic. I think I was just trying to, you know, be cordial, because pretty much this all started from someone that I went to high school with. Me and this guy were really cool. We were in class together. We were really good friends. And, you know, after high school, I tried to make sure that I was present to a certain extent, because there's ever so much present I can be, especially with someone that is a full adult, especially someone that is in a full relationship, just out of respect for his personal life. Like, I cannot be everywhere, but when I am present, I do show up because I don't have to. So when I do show up, I'm expecting good vibes. So he introduced me to his girlfriend introduced me to the girl that I did her hair. The girl that I did her hair ended up texting me back and saying, oh, call me. I sent her this long text message. And the reason why I send text messages is because I feel like when people get on the phone, the whole energy switches up. You don't really have proof of what's being said. People can literally say anything. People could get crazy on the phone and they could say anything to you, and you don't have no proof of that. I told her I don't want to talk on the phone. And she was like, well, you said a lot as always. You know, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I definitely did not see that. Like, she pretty much just disregarded everything that I said. And like I said, the text message that I sent was about this long. So, and it wasn't no, oh, bitch, fuck out of here, you owe me money. Like, it wasn't like that. It was literally like, I feel hurt. My feelings are hurt. I felt like you took advantage of me. I feel like you were being inconsiderate of my emotions. I feel like you overlooked the fact that, yes, I am spiritual. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I know how to solve my problems. I know. But in the moment, sometimes you want niggas to fucking be there for you. You understand? And it's like, what I was asking for was too much, you know? It frustrates me because just how everything kind of transpired, I was still painted as the bad guy. I took time to edit that fucking video. The video wasn't about these people, but the girl, my friend's girlfriend, decided to write me yesterday and tell me that her friend, somebody else, that, to be quite frank, I have not seen this girl on my YouTube channel ever. She's never commented. She's never shared my YouTube channel. But all of a sudden, when drama transpires, people want to come about and be, you know, like news reporters. And I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, as a human being, as an individual, as a woman, you should stand on your own, period. If there's a video that's up where your voice is in it, I would take the time to go watch it. I would take the time to see what I said and seeing where I went wrong and how things sounded from my point of view. But the thing is, the way that the video was edited, there was so much shit that was not put into the video. There was so much shit that I tried to protect. I took people's names out of it. Nobody knew who I was talking to. Nobody knew who I was talking about. There was nothing that would trace back to these people. But you know, when you're so embedded in someone's life and when you're so invested in how people do shit, you end up in unfortunate situations, right? The reason why I took it down is because I was approached by someone that was in the video vocally. It's illegal to record content without someone's permission. The conversation that was transpired in the last video wasn't something, and this is where, just from a general point of view, which is why I said even when I'm not right, I do express my wrongdoings, because to some people, they're not comfortable with their voice being projected on a platform. I'm very comfortable because I've been here for years, but a lot of people are not comfortable with their voice, or even to hear their voice back, or even to hear back their thoughts, their real thoughts in the situation. I put up a video where it was very evident that I was down. For the past couple of months, I've been feeling very down. And the reason why I've been feeling very down is because I feel like everything that I know about self is here. Everything that I know about people is here. There's no more, oh, well, you know, making excuses for people or trying to figure out why they're doing certain things. Everything is very obvious. People have shown their ass multiple times this year to me, and it's very revealing. It's very... It feels very like reassuring to know that the thoughts that I've been having for a while about certain individuals were valid, where I felt like these people are not really for me. These people don't like me. They don't like me as a person. The person that I am, they don't enjoy. They like the good, but they don't like when it's not convenient. It's not bad. It's usually when it's not convenient. And once I started to learn more about myself, I realized that I need to stand firm in how I feel. For the past lifetime, I didn't want to say years, for the past lifetime, this whole journey that I've been on, I've been trying to make excuses for everybody that's around me. And nobody has considered my feelings in a lot of situations. There's been plenty of times where I will go through certain things, whether it's within family, friends, relationships. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck, because after a while, like, you end up evolving from relationships with partners, and you have to move on. Like, it's good to know that a certain partner is not for you. So moving on from that, it hurts at first, but after a while, you just kind of get over it, right? When it comes to family and friends, I think personally I take things a little bit more personal, and I embrace people very differently. And the people that are usually around me are people that enjoy being around me and they enjoy my presence, and vice versa, right? But I find myself suppressing how I truly feel about certain people to be around them just because I felt lonely and I didn't feel like I can stand on my own at the time. And the more and more I got into 2020, and the more and more I realized that everything that I speak, everything that I feel, everything that I think is going to happen, you know? And I kept thinking and I kept speaking and I kept feeling that things were going to go well for me, but I also felt like the people that are around me are not really good for me. I kept feeling this sense of people are watching me, but they're not really supporting me. And if they are supporting me, it's out of convenience. It's not, I just want to do this for you. Yeah, I think when it comes to certain aspects of relationships, everything is not going to be perfect. But when you address something, it is necessary as the receiver to receive. If someone addresses you and they say, I do not like that you made me feel this way, you have to receive it. It doesn't mean that you have to do what they say, but you have to receive it. And, you know, at some point, say that I apologize for what I did and da-da-da-da-da. So this is where I can take accountability for purposely putting her voice in the video, but the intention of me putting her voice was to have dialogue and to show the perspective of a situation that I felt fucked up about. Two people that I was cordial with, let me be specific. Two people that I was cordial with, when things did not work out, the first thing that they brought up was the fact that as a spiritual person, they expected more from me as far as like how I deal with certain things. And usually it surrounds around me being vocal. The throat chakra is going to be used whenever needed. One thing about people, they tend to do things that are very fucked up. They do things that are very unethical. And people tend to do things that they know is not something that they will want to be done to them in their environment or in their situation. A lot of times you hear certain situations and you're like, man, I would never do that to somebody. Or yeah, nah, like, you know, I would definitely do what I have to do to make sure I can avoid that. When certain things transpires in your life and you tend to react, it's not necessarily because you're an angry person. It's because you're human. And the two people that brought up the fact that I'm spiritual and they expected more from me, I just wanted to clarify, as a spiritual person, it does not mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you do not have feelings. And it doesn't mean that people are allowed to come and take advantage of you. It doesn't mean that you do not have a voice of your own. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna bypass bullshit. I'm literally so tired of people using spirituality as a way to make people feel bad for having a human experience. At the end of the day, as an adult, you are entitled to express yourself. I see a lot of people on social media that express themselves with words. They'll go on this, they'll make a status, they're talking mad shit about a person, they'll call them outside of their names, you know, they'll talk about very low things. And I've seen it where people will speak on things that you usually won't speak on because it's just degrading to the other person. But when you're sharing your truth and when you're being honest about real life situations, people love to shut you up. And I just wanted to make this video very clear. You will never shut me up. It is never going to happen. As a spiritual being, I feel when people's energies are off. And when my energy is off, I can be accountable for it. But when people do not realize that their energy is off and the energy that they bring is not like conducive, it's a little troubling for me, because at that point I feel like you're delusional. If someone brings you up about something very specific and you're not able to say, you know what, I understand, let's agree to disagree and just move on, me and you cannot be in the same room. We're not of the same caliber. My spirituality, my spiritual mentality is different from the way that you mentally analyze certain things. You mentally analyze certain things from a place of anger, from a place of spitefulness, and from a place of I think anger and spitefulness is good enough, because what the fuck, I do not resort to that. When I'm upset, I am very, very detailed about why I'm upset. I'm very detailed about where you went wrong. In my book, I'm very detailed about what exactly happened from my point of view. And if you're not able to do the same, or able to take accountability for the point where you messed up, especially like when I'm the first person, because that's the thing. There's been a lot of times where I'll bring up something first, and then all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, but you did this. Yeah. You did not have an issue until I brought something up. If I bring, my plant is wildin'. If I bring something up to you initially, and you bypass it by not allowing me to express myself, or to even say, you know, I realize that, yeah, no, I did do that. I respect people more when they're able to be like, yeah, you're right, I did do that. Because I do that. I'm definitely very accountable when it comes to certain things. But one thing I do not tolerate is people using my beliefs as something where it takes me away from being human. I realized that once I got into spirituality, the same people that criticized me about my spirituality were the same people that were all up under my ass about the fact that I am unique, I am one of a kind, I am a very sweet person. All the things that I know about myself, these people have complimented me about before. But when things are not aligned for them, when things go out of alignment for them, when things come to the surface, when you're being, I don't like to use the word exposed, but when your true colors are being shown, that's when people start to like scale back. And that's when they start to like, they kind of put the blame on you, and they like to tell you, like, you know, you're spiritual, you shouldn't do that. If you look into spirituality deeper, you know that things are going to happen. My journey doesn't stop here. I have not learned everything I need to learn about spirituality. If you do something that is frustrating to me, and vice versa, if I do something that's frustrating to you, I cannot tell you how to react. I've had someone literally yell at me via voice note, okay? And they continuously was yelling because they were upset, right? And I was very understanding of the person being upset. It got personal when the person started to throw jabs directly at me and started to bring up situations outside of themselves. And that's when I realized that you're working from a place of anger, because now you're starting to dig, and I don't do well with digging. As a spiritual person, I don't even argue. I stopped arguing. I chose to stop arguing because I realized if I keep going back and forth with you, I'm going to say something that is probably true, period, or I'm going to say something to hurt your feelings. Either way, most of the time it's true. I try my best to not react in the moment. I wait a little bit. I express myself when needed. When I express myself, I'm very direct. And I'm also not the type of person to call someone outside of their name. That's the reason why a lot of people do not have real friends. People do not have real people in their corner, because people want superficial friendships. People do not want authentic friendships. And it's very telling when you're trying to create a real dynamic with someone, when you're starting to set boundaries with people, when you're starting to be a little bit more transparent about what you're going to tolerate or not, and all of a sudden they go silent. Boundaries is a very important thing for me. I think that if I have not set boundaries in my life, a lot of people will be able to walk all over me, including family. And I spent a lot of time trying to protect people that did not protect me. The people that I was out here making excuses for, they were going on to live their life. They did not stop and say, yo, honestly, like, the last time I seen this girl, she was in tears. Or the last time I seen her, she wasn't in the right spirit. A lot of people love to see me sad. A lot of people love to see me in disarray. But now that I'm starting to be more self-aware about who I am as a person and what I bring, it offends people. And I find it hilarious. So the reason why people are offended is because your expectation is spirituality, which equates to perfection, I guess. I do not have to be someone that I'm not. And one thing I am not is a liar. I am not a liar. I always make sure that I am authentic. I literally watched another video with this girl talking about friends and people not communicating and people trying to gang up on you, and you know, it's very high schoolish, and we need to stop the bullshit. At the end of the day, the video was not for you. If you do not like my content, stay off my page. I don't know why people are so obsessive where you want to be in people's business but not really. Her friend was the one that came to get her hair done for free. So at that point, you should feel shame even hitting me up after something like that, because you were the one that introduced me to this girl. So when you put people on to people and that person fucks up, everybody gotta go. Because at the end of the day, I try my best to maintain a friendship that literally was beyond me. As a hairstylist, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. As a business owner, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. As a friend, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. But based on your response, either I'm gonna push through to get it over with, or I'm gonna send you home. I felt like in that situation, I couldn't send her home. It was insensitive and it just wasn't the right time. And she traveled almost 2 hours to get here. So I felt like, just out of consideration, maybe it would be best if you stay, and then tomorrow when I'm feeling better, or maybe later if you stay, we can continue doing the hairstyle. If she comes over here, it doesn't make sense to run back home because it's far. Because I feel like we just spend a lot of time on the phone. So the sink that I have ended up overflowing because of where it was. It should have been directly into the actual sink, but ended up like filling up, overflowed. So I'm attempting to help her fix it, like clean it up, because the water's all over the floor at this point. And she's like, it's fine, I got it, it's fine. She goes in the bathroom, she washes her hair, it's quiet. When she finished washing her hair, I said, do you need a towel? She didn't say anything to me. So at this point, I'm like, you have an attitude. I didn't want to feel like I'm giving too much of myself. And then if I ask for money, it comes off like I'm snobby. But in all reality, that's my art. So she's like, yeah, let me just sweep. That's the least I can do. I felt like I was not considered in that situation. At the end of the day, I'm not telling people to change their whole character, but it's the principle. It's literally the principle, always. It is always the principle. And for her friend that contacted me via DM, it's your tone. And initially, when the friend hit me up, she was like, yeah, my other friend sent me the video. So in my head, I'm like, these are big woman, like, you're grown. Why can't you just say, I watched the video and I didn't like the fact that my voice was in it? It makes a difference, because now I feel like you're being messy because you're saying, oh, my friend sent me this. Stand on your own. And then the fact that there was nothing that was said in the video that you should be shameful of, because it was the truth. And I firmly believe that people are not comfortable with the truth. People are not comfortable with being themselves. It goes to show you that people like to say, oh yeah, I'm your friend, da 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 da. The girl even went as far as saying, didn't you just lose a friend for the same thing? Maybe it's you, da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't lose friends. y'all don't want to be here no more. And that's okay. When I wasn't on YouTube, it was convenient, right? Because I was a sad bitch off camera. But now that I'm expressing how I feel and I'm documenting how I feel, now it's, oh, you know, you're exposing people. Now it's illegal and all this extra shit. And I'm just like, there was nothing in the video that would be deemed as someone exposing you. It was more so you exposing yourself for speaking your truth. But a lot of people cannot handle that because they're trying to maintain friendships that are not ethical. And personally, for me, I refuse. I do not want to be a part of a friendship that is based on superficial interactions where you cannot confide in your friend on some, yo, I'm not feeling well right now. Can you understand that? Even if it's not, can you understand that? Like, the whole situation just transpired very nasty. And I feel like I had to speak about it because it's just, it's annoying. It's annoying, it's insensitive, it's rude, it's nasty, it's childish. These are women that are older than me, and all I was getting in the DMs was, well, she said this, and you know, you shouldn't have done this. I will say, I would never record someone without telling them going forward. And the reason why I would take accountability for that is because, like I said before, people are not comfortable with themselves. And me telling you I'm recording while recording, it ruins the flow. So just don't call my phone. I'm out here creating authentic content. I would look crazy if I was sitting here accusing a friend of mine that has been my friend for X amount of time of something where I did not have any type of proof, any type of dialogue. Because if I was supposed to screenshot the conversation that I sent her, I'd be wrong. I'd be wrong. But I felt like that was the most innocent way of portraying the situation, and also for me to get the another perspective, which honestly, I don't give a fuck. The perspective honestly didn't even help. The perspective was that I should have saved my bad energy for another day so that I can be able to put the good energy into a free install for my time. For my time. My time is not free. I do not perform services for free. Friend or not. At the end of the day, I have a business. I have to show up for my business every day. If you do not understand that, then you don't need to be here. I'm very, very adamant about that. If that makes me a bitch, if that makes me unlikely, if you do not want to understand the flow of how I do things, that's fine. Nobody's begging anybody to be here, to be honest. The point of the matter is, do not come into my space and disrespect me. Because when I decide to express myself, it may not be in a way that you desire. Because I don't sit here and do the DMs and arguing and all this extra shit. Initially, when the situation happened, I pulled up to my friend and I told her how I felt. And her response was, call me. Prior to this, she had said something that was really uncomfortable for me in the presence of someone that I was just meeting for the first time. And it pertained to my boyfriend, where she said, oh, I only see you when your boyfriend is dropping you off. And funny or not, that shit is very shady. Certain things that people say, you can tell is coming from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of jealousy, envy. I would never tell someone that, oh, if your nigga's not involved, you don't be pulling up. That person is a part of you. And at the end of the day, my boyfriend is not going to let me walk. Especially if it's not necessary. So I had to get this out. I had to say what I had to say. Because people like to take you for a fool. And I do not have time. At this age, at 25 years old, I don't have time for the he said, she said. I don't have time for the tweets. Girls is tweeting after I posted up my YouTube video saying, oh, open the comments, as if I was afraid. YouTube literally flagged my last video because it had music in it. If you watch the fucking video, you would literally see that there were parts of the video that were muted because of the fact that I had music in it. And I'm trying to get in the swing of things with YouTube because I'm just now getting back to it. Why the fuck do people take it so personal that you're trying to express yourself and you're trying to express your truth. If I was supposed to come on YouTube and do the story time first, I would have been wrong. If I was supposed to come on YouTube and posted the screenshots, I would have been wrong. But you know, at this point, I am the villain. And I'm cool with that. I do my part as a friend. I do my part all the time. And if I'm not able to do, I say that I'm not going to do it. Because I'm very direct. And when I am able to do, and when I express myself, and when I say the things that I do not like, it should be respected. Just like when the young lady contacted me and said, oh, well, you need to take the video down. The first thing I said was, I don't think that, wait, let me just go back to what I said, because I don't want to misquote you, my love. The girl even went on to say I was playing victim and all kinds of shit. And I'm just like, yo, y'all don't fucking like me. But y'all want to keep up. That's the funnier part, because I have never seen niggas on my page, on my YouTube, like this. And to have all this energy over a YouTube video is actually very telling. But okay, so when she first approached me, I said, to be honest, the video was made so that I can express my truth. Yeah, the whole video cannot come down. It will ruin my flow. When I was expressing how I felt, it was taken as if I was in the wrong for doing what I said I was going to do. I also tagged, so pretty much the person that decided to get themselves involved in the whole back and forth, she happens to have a business. I don't quite know her like that, so I just tried to disregard her. But I did bring up something regarding the business because I tagged her in something and she did not respond. And it was very obvious that she did not respond because of all of this was happening, because the video already went up. So there was animosity, right? And instead of being a woman and saying, I'ma like it just for the sake of business, people don't know how to show up for business and put their emotions aside. First of all, the beef wasn't between me and the girl. I don't really know the girl like that. So the fact that it got to the point where, you know, the girl comes back up in a situation and the friend of my friend at the time told me, you know, I'm crossing a boundary and da-da-da-da. So we're pretty much going back and forth, and she sends voice notes because she's really pushing for me to take the video down. The video came down, right? The video came down. I was not pressed about the video being up, but it was the fact that I put so much effort into making the video. And the video, literally, that portion of the video was about 2 minutes out of a 15-minute video. 2 minutes out of the video of me talking and then her responding, it triggered people. Okay, the girl that I ended up doing her hair, I texted her because apparently I'm finding out that she's on Twitter talking shit. And I'm just like, this is what we're doing at 25 plus? It's beyond me. And we gotta stop it. Like, I did not run to YouTube at first. I expressed myself. And the girl, one thing, and this is the reason why I did not allow her to call me at the time. After she said that slick shit about my boyfriend, it wasn't the first time either, but after she said that slick shit about my boyfriend, she pulled the, oh, you know, I love you, you know, I didn't mean it like that, you know people like to like smooth things over. So when this whole situation transpired, I didn't want anyone to tell me, yeah, you don't feel like that, you know, I love you. I didn't want to be seduced. Like, I wanted you to keep it a buck. Like, you really was being whacked today. And you wasn't being present as a friend. And I was waiting for her to do that. But when the girl, I texted the girl that I did her hair. And I was like, I'm glad that, I said my comments are blocked because of YouTube, but I'm happy you found some time to care about how I felt via YouTube. Thank you for that. She said, I'm glad you found time to text and not call me like I asked you before. All I know is that you're being extremely manipulative and condescending with your content to prove a point. I told you to call me and we can speak about it. You're bugging, and you could take my business and the girl's voice out of the video. That's trash as fuck, right? It is not, my content should not be digested to the point where you're looking at every aspect of the video and you're like, yeah, take that down, yeah, take that down, yeah, take that down. It's not your place. It is not your place. You cannot sit here and tell me take that part down because you feel some type of way about how our friendship transpired. Because if we were still friends, her business, quote unquote, would not be on YouTube. You understand? But it goes to show you that when things are no longer convenient, people don't want to show up for you. Yesterday was very, very revealing. I think just going forward, I just want to protect myself from bad mind people, because y'all don't deserve my fucking energy, period. I'm not mentioning nobody's name. I think there was a portion of the video where I was editing and I was supposed to put her name, because I usually put the name of the person I'm on the phone with. Your name wasn't even in the video, and mans was telling me, oh, my boyfriend introduced me to you, you didn't consider him, you didn't consider me. And I'm like, bro, nobody painted you as the bad guy. You're upset because you were speaking the truth and you didn't want people to know that. You didn't want people to know that side of you. There's nothing wrong with people knowing the truth. The girl went on to say, I'm gonna report the video until it comes down, and you're threatening. I'm like, girl, there's only 60 views. I didn't go viral. Like, what the fuck? It was weird. The whole exchange was weird. My channel is a place where I'm expressing how I truly feel about something, and if I have to make a story time about it, then I'll do that, because it seems as if when people's voices get involved, people are very sensitive about that, and I have to be considerate of that. So I am. But it was a lot of things that were said, and there was a lot of things that, you know, I was dealing with a lot of back and forth between. Yes, I think all of this transpired yesterday, but 2 weeks has passed and nobody hit me up. Nobody said, yo, honestly, I did use you. I did come to get my hair done for free. I didn't get that message. But sis went home the day after her hair was done, and she went home to take pictures. So where does my respect kick in? You understand? Like, you took it. I gave you an inch and you took a fucking mile, my nigga. Like, I don't get it. This is a lesson that has been learned. I refuse at this age to be going back and forth in a DM or on Twitter or just in general about things that I've already addressed. And if I decide to share something in a YouTube channel, don't fucking watch it. If me and you don't talk, just don't watch it. It's that simple. But you're invested in drama, and you try to make things seem as if it's personal, and it's not. It's not personal. It's not personal. It seems as if nobody gave a fuck, because even when I expressed to the girl yesterday that nobody has brought up the fact that my feelings were hurt, and because I decided to post my sorry ass on YouTube, like in the video, it was very evident I was fucking sad. And people want to come and tell me how to run my show. I will no longer post anybody's voice, but I would damn sure talk about the shit that is going on in my life, because that's what the fuck I want to do. And I don't understand why we're still doing the high school back and forth. You got other people involved. You're bringing other people into it. It is a two-way situation. It is me and you. Let's talk about it. And when I did pull up the girl that I did her hair, I told her, I was like, you're disgusting. You know, you did not have any consideration for me. And she did not respond, because she can't. There's nothing to say. You should feel ashamed of yourself that you walked into someone's place of business, to someone's home, and you did not consider them. I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never ask someone for a free service. I would never ask someone to give up their whole day for nothing. It's disrespectful, especially when you personally know me and you know all the things that I'm going through as a business owner, and you want to come and fucking take advantage. You can never speak to me again. And I want to make that very clear. This is my show. You're not involved. I'm going to still talk about my truth, but you yourself, you're not involved. It is not about you. How I decide to express how I feel, that is on me. It's sad that friendships have to end this way, but I feel like I've been protecting people for so long, and it's just jabs, because people are not used to me reacting. But at this point in time, if you do not like me, if you do not like the way I move, if you feel like you're gonna get exposed, it's funny because only certain type of people are making it seem as if they got exposed. I definitely have other recordings in my videos, and I ain't hear no complaining. But like I said, a lot of people are not comfortable with themselves. So going forward, if you see my videos on your feed and you feel like, oh well, you know, I don't know if I like this girl, you know, this bitch, it will save you spiritually. It will save you so much energy if you just avoid people that you don't like, and you avoid situations that are gonna cause conflict. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna speak my truth.